So for this video, it says to find the zeros of the polynomial function and state the multiplicity of each zero. So first let's start with finding the zeros of this function here. So we have the function f of x is equal to 10x times x minus 1 to the fourth power times x plus 3 squared. Now, taking a look at the function that we have here, it's already factored for us, and that helps us. It saves us some steps here, because as long as it's already factored, we can go straight to the zero factor property that states that we can split our factors up, set them each equal to 0, and solve. So we have 1, 2, 3 different factors here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take each one of them, set them each equal to 0, and we are going to solve. Okay, so that's going to look like this. Okay, starting with our first equation, 10x is equal to 0, so all we have to do here is divide 10 on both sides, and we get that x is equal to 0. Taking a look at our next equation, we have x minus 1 to the fourth power is equal to 0. In order to solve for x, we need to get rid of that fourth power. Well, the opposite of that would be taking the fourth root of that, because those will cancel each other out. And remember, what we do to one side, we must do to the other side. Well, the root and the power cancel with each other, leaving us with x minus 1. And on the right-hand side, the fourth root of 0 is just 0. So the last step here, just add 1 to both sides, giving us that x is equal to 1. For our last equation here, we have x plus 3 squared is equal to 0. So in order to solve for x, we need to get rid of that squared. So we need to take the square root. Taking the square root of both sides, the square root and the square are going to cancel out, leaving us with x plus 3. And on the right-hand side, the square root of 0 is 0. So in order to solve for x, we need to subtract 3 on both sides, giving us that x is equal to negative 3. So these are our 3 zeros of the function. So x is equal to 0, x is equal to 1, x is equal to negative 3. The second part of this problem asked us to state the multiplicity of each zero. The multiplicity of the zeros is essentially the power of each one of it. So if we take a look at 10x, this is x to the first power, that is the highest degree of that factor there. So for this one here, we would say that the multiplicity is 1. For the x minus 1 to the fourth power factor that we solved here, we got x is equal to 1. And because this was raised to the fourth power, so that is the degree of this factor here, the multiplicity of this one would then be 4. For the x plus 3 squared, because that's raised to the second power there, so the degree of that would be 2. So the multiplicity of this 0 here would be 2. There's some meaning to what the multiplicities actually will do for you in a graph. I'm not going to get into that right now. It's going to come, like I said, whenever you're graphing these, it's going to help you figure out what to do with your graph, depending on whether your multiplicity is even or odd. But for this question, we just need to state what they are. So our zeros are our 0 with the multiplicity of 1, 1 with the multiplicity of 4, and then negative 3 with the multiplicity of 2. Otherwise, that's it for this video.